Hi, I'm Kevin Sales from Probate Real Estate Sales 101, and today I want to talk to you about the 3 phases of probate. Generally speaking, across the nation, probate cases go through 3 phases. The first phase, and we're going to use some numbers, some dates or time periods, and just know these are estimates because the first probate really that I cut my teeth on, I call it the deal I cut my teeth on, the one that I remember the most early in my career back in 1995. That case, I believe the decedent died in 1986, and it was 1995. I was dealing with the administrator as a branch manager at a bank. So it can go very long, but I'm going to use an average of like a 12-month probate period. That's a good rough estimate for probates here in California. In other states it may be slightly different. That's a good estimate here. So in the first 60 days-ish, that's what we call the appointment phase. That's when someone, one of the heirs, what we call the PR, the personal representative, is going to petition the court to say, hey, so-and-so died, we need to probate their estate. So that's the first 60 days roughly. During that time period, if there's wills, those will be produced. If not, maybe family might argue over it. They may say, well, he wants to be the administrator of the estate and be in charge, but he's not qualified, or she should be, and they may do all of that, and that may make the time period take longer. But typically a good rough estimate is that somewhere around the first 60 days, someone is put in charge of that probate case. At that point, they're appointed in charge of the estate, and then now they can do transactions like sign a contract or sign a listing agreement or handle the banking or talk to the lender about the property that's in question because they're now in charge of the estate. The next phase, and if we were talking about a 1-year probate, this would be month 2 through month 8. It's called the administration phase. During the administration phase, they go, the person who's in charge of the estate, the personal representative of the estate, at this point they'd be called either an administrator or an executor. They're in charge, and they go through gathering all the assets and debts. If you've watched the video called What is Probate, you know that probate is the gathering of the assets and the debts of a decedent, paying off what should be paid off, and then giving the whatever's left over to the heirs. And so during this phase, they're gathering everything. What debts are there? What assets are there? There's certain filings that they have to do. They have to let the state government know that someone is deceased. They have to let Medi-Cal or Medicaid, depending on what state you're in, you have to notify them and let them know the person died so they can figure out if any money is owed back. So there's notifications that have to go out, and there's different things that have to be done to let the potential creditors know that this person is deceased. All of those things are done during that administration phase. And then the last phase, which would be months 9 through 12, are what we call the closing phase. And during that phase, that's when they're wrapping things up. Maybe they've paid off some of those debts. Maybe they've sold some properties. They're getting ready, not quite yet, but getting ready to make the payments for the fees for the estate and to give the payments to the beneficiaries and get all that wrapped up and do final accounting and all those sorts of things. So obviously there's a whole lot more that goes on during these phases than what I'm covering today. But as an investor looking to buy probate real estate, or as an agent looking to list a probate property or represent a buyer on a probate property, if you know those 3 phases, that's probably going to be enough information in terms of what's going on during the phases of the probate case. So if you are a member of ProbateRealEstateSales101.com, you can go to the membership side. There is an infographic that gives much more detail and talks about some of the things that happen in those phases. It's an excellent marketing tool to give out to potential people that are going to be your sellers or potential people that are going to be listing their property with you. It's a great tool to give them so they know more information about the process. Because many times you coming in as an investor, you coming in as a real estate agent, you're the bridge over that gap. They work with an attorney and there may be a gap because they don't understand. The attorney may have told them what's going to happen, but they lose sight of it. It's the first time I've ever done a probate. They said something's going to happen. They said they're filing something, and I'm just sitting here waiting for an answer now for the next 2 months. I feel lost. No one's communicating with me. Those are the types of things you hear from people that are in charge of estates. So this tool, the infographic, is phenomenal to be able to give them to say, hey, here's the phases you're going to be going through. Here's what happens in this phase. Here's about how long it takes, so they can understand. Oh, they can be kind of more calm about knowing, okay, we're just in a waiting process right now until a month, whatever, so that we know what happens next. So it's a great tool there on the membership side of the website, and also the timeline is there as well. So you can download those, use those as marketing tools, use those however you see fit, and increase your knowledge. If you'd like to learn more about probate real estate, of course, go to ProbateRealEstateSales101.com. Look at the products page, look at the resources page. There's plenty of tools there to help you maximize the results of your marketing efforts. Thanks for tuning in.